Yeah, right now we just chilling because we trying to get it connected to the YouTube live and Facebook live. But this finna be a good one, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was talking about me saying I'm wrong. I don't need to sit down with him. I don't need to do this. But this for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to talk. Everybody want to talk about him and not want to meet him face to face and talk to him. So I'm gonna be the one. I'm gonna be the file guy to sit down with him and talk to him, man. Clay Edwards, man. Sage Jackson, man. This the one. This the one, man. So Clay, introduce yourself, man. Handle a
Hi,
bit.
Clay Edwards. Most of y'all know me by now. Run the Save Jackson pages, Save JXN. We are streaming live on that Facebook page, right?
Yeah.
Save JXN. Well, it says my name, but it's at Save JXN. I'm looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to get to talk to somebody. You know, everybody has their opinions of me. You're going to come out of this either thinking that stronger,
Yeah.
or you're going to be like, okay, he's not the bad guy that I thought he was.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be you're going to come out of this with some type of feeling, one way or another.
I already see y'all hear me, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all share the video so the video can go all over Mississippi. Because I know everybody in Mississippi follow me or him. You know what I'm saying? So this chilling with Squirrel, man, the second episode of the year, man, and we coming hard. And we chilling with Squirrel and we chilling with Clay Elves. But first off, we're gonna kick it off, man. I got questions and everything, man. I got questions from the people and all that. So, but the number one question from the people, man, is you racist?
No.
Why
No.
do you feel like they think you racist though?
It's like I told you off air. We live in this day and age where realism and just being honest and pointing out something that's clearly a statistical fact is racist now. Where criticism, like if me as a white guy, I criticize a black man, that's called racism. Like, no, it's called constructive criticism, or maybe sometimes it is just criticism.
Yeah.
But, you know, what people hear what they want to hear too.
Yeah.
What they don't see or they don't hear is all the white people I go after too. You know, you may not see that on Instagram. That may be on Facebook. That may be on my 2-hour radio show every morning.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't copycat all my media, all my social media. You know, I'm not going to take the same thing and put it on all 4 platforms.
Yeah.
We're gonna put this over here because this is what works over here. We're gonna put this over here because this is what works here. It was like the Brandon brawl
Yeah.
the other day. I got tagged, and I'm still getting tagged in videos. Why ain't you posted this? Well, I don't know about you. When I post fight videos, I ended up in Instagram jail or Facebook jail.
Yeah.
I can't post fight videos.
You can't post fight videos. Yeah.
You know, because all it takes is somebody complaining or whatever, and the algorithm, their AI that goes through all that, knocks it off.
Yeah.
But what I did do was I did a 2-hour radio show dedicated to that, even interviewed the victim's father.
Oh.
You know, but you got to go, you know.
So you got to go to
And
the radio.
The podcast is up there.
You got to hit your podcast.
Podcast it. You know, so I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah.
Like certain content works better on certain platforms.
Yeah.
You know, so people could take this, at least as far as this perception that I only talk about black people behaving badly.
Yeah.
That's the perception. Well, I talked about this on my radio show Friday. Maybe it was Thursday. The demographics of Jackson. It started out as Save Jackson. I lived in Jackson until 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So the crime around me in a 90% black city is most likely being happening by black folks. That's just the demographics of the area.
Yeah.
Go to Brandon, for example. Majority white. Who do you think's committing most of the crime?
White people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a page that I talk about crime and initially just talked about Jackson stuff. So unfortunately, based on that, it's a lot of people that we're going to talk about is going to be black. I wish it was more white people doing it. It would make
y'all hearing that? He said he wish it was more white people doing crime and just to make his life more easy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm jump on it when it's white people. I'm like, oh, finally. I mean, my diversity of quota has been met.
Yeah.
You know, so I wish it was. I said this on the radio the other day. For example, the Brandon Brawl thing again.
Yeah.
It's the most downloaded audio podcast I've ever done. So what that tells me is white people behaving badly sells very well. People are interested in it. At least my followers want to hear that.
Yeah.
You know, so if it was up to me, if I'm just looking at it from a dollars and cents standpoint, a downloads standpoint, well, what do I want to do? I want to talk about what works
Yeah.
for me from a creator standpoint. Well, that to me, say I talk about something in Jackson. I'm just going to use the audio podcast stuff, for example.
Yeah.
Maybe it gets 500 downloads. It still puts it in the top 10% of all podcasts. Isn't that right, Daniel? Yeah. If you get 500 a day, that puts you in the top 10% of most downloaded podcasts. There's so many of them, and it's very top heavy. Well, so make sure I'm saying this right. If I just talk about regular Jackson crime stuff, regardless of who commits it. Well, if I get off into the counties and I do a podcast and it did 3,000 downloads talking about that Brandon brawl. Well, what do you think I'm going to want to do more of?
You're going to want to talk about the Brandon brawl.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
But you can't have a platform dedicated to just that because it doesn't happen enough and get caught on camera.
Yeah.
To just talk about that. Now, all kind of crap happened in Brandon last week. A guy, which I actually got the full story on, said the cross-dresser that killed his girlfriend, killed his wife.
Yeah.
We talked about that. His mugshot, he was dressed up in a woman's clothing. Come to find out, I found this out last night, he was not a cross-dresser. He was a psychopath. He killed his wife and was trying to set up his alibi. He dressed like her, put all her stuff on, and went out and mowed the yard, hoping the neighbors would see a woman mowing the yard.
Oh.
And he could play it off.
Play it off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then the very next day, woman, butt naked, walking across Highway 80, or Crossgates Boulevard, over by Chick-fil-A and all that.
Yeah.
That got caught on camera. We talked about that. But I can't post. If I post somebody walking naked, I've done all this stuff before.
Yeah,
they're going to strike my account.
Gonna strike it. Yeah, strike it.
Whether it's Instagram, Facebook, whatever, I can make a post about it.
Yeah.
But I can't share it.
Yeah.
There was a video of some black girls twerking on the hood of a car at Ellis Avenue. Went really, really hot.
Yeah.
Last year. Instagram and YouTube and TikTok striked it the second I put it up.
Because I guess somebody was reporting it, though.
That's what I feel like. Like somebody reports it.
Yeah, somebody reports it, and then they'll take it down.
Yep. And, you get enough haters that don't like your content or don't like you, and enough of them strike it. Yeah. That does work, unfortunately.
All right. So, I already touched on the second question. The second question I had for you, like, why did you name it Save Jackson?
I'm glad you asked that.
Like, why you name your Instagram Save Jackson?
Everybody thought it was initially, are you saying save it from black people? That's what I got asked.
That's what everybody really think.
That is, I get it. All right, when I started doing this, it was about urban exploration.
Yeah.
Empty buildings, taking pictures. That's what started all this.
Yeah.
Was pictures of empty buildings, abandoned buildings. So I started with the Metro. Then I owned nightclubs for 15 years in Jackson. So I know the nightclub business in Jackson like the back of my hand.
Yeah.
So the next post was, I was like, that worked. And I had a page called Jackson Miss Promo, where I was doing free promo for Jackson businesses.
Yeah.
Because I had it was a club page, and I didn't have the club no more, so I still like posting. So let me just do this. And I promoted black events mainly, just like free. I'd see you get a flyer, I'd share it, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And so I had that page. I posted those pictures of the Metro Center on JXN Miss Promo. So it went kind of viral locally. Got shared a couple thousand times, which, locally, that's really good.
That's good. That's good.
Especially on Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, then I said, the next post was, I'm going to ride around in every bar or building that I know used to be a bar or nightclub. I'm going to post it and a history of all the different names it was. So I had about 20 different buildings, did that. That post went crazy because everybody was posting their, like engagement-wise, each photo, people were telling their memories of that bar.
Yeah.
And it did really, really well. I was like, all right, so I kind of became the urban exploration guy.
Yeah.
I would ride through South Jackson, and with my dash cam on, live streaming, all the old places we all used to hang out back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And this, that, and the other. Well, I was like, I did a thing where I took a picture of every building in South Jackson that used to be a business, whatever. And I posted it and said, and I like to do what it looks like now versus like old pictures.
Yeah.
I'm like, this used to be the bike rack or whatever. And like, now it's this. This used to be Sam's Club. Now it's this. And just fill in the blanks. Man, that post did really, really well. And that's when I changed the name of it to Save Jackson. It was Save the Empty Buildings. It was about buildings.
So basically, it wasn't for the crime. It was Save Jackson on like instructional and business wise.
Yeah. It was about business. It was about just all these empty buildings, from our childhoods. Some are abandoned, some aren't. It was literally, I should have called it Save the Buildings in Jackson. But that don't sound good. Yeah. It was like Save JXN. That was it. And of course, now, I'll make sure I cover my ass here. it did evolve into talking about crime. It really started just talking about memes. I ain't never liked the mayor. I don't think he does a good job.
So you don't like the mayor?
No, I think
hold on, before you get into it, why you feel like he was a horrible mayor?
Can you name one good thing he's done for the city?
I can't. Hey, I don't like you. I don't like you, man. Like, well, I don't know. I don't even pay attention to the mayor. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even pay attention to the mayor.
He may be a great guy to have a beer with.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And that I think that's why people like him. That have interactions with him. I'm sure he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Professionally, I don't like him, and I see what he's done. And then what they did with my boy Anthony Fox, the cop that they had arrested, and a crooked judicial system locked him up, manslaughter charges.
Yeah.
Took him away from his family for 551 days. I got a problem with that. You know, he just it got overturned. He's innocent.
Yeah.
And he walked out of jail a free man 2 or 3 days ago. You know, and that was spearheaded by Chockway, Jody Owens, the DA, and the judge, Adriana Wooten. You know, so it's deeper than, it ain't got nothing to do, the mayor, my not liking the mayor ain't got nothing to do with his blackness or none of that. Now, what I don't like is he makes everything black this, black that, black this, black that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like all of his successes or failures have to be because of his blackness. And it can't just be because of his merit.
Yeah.
I get tired of hearing that.
So you get tired of hearing him saying that because he black, they can't get funding in Jackson and all that stuff. You get tired of hearing it?
Yeah, I think most people are. I mean, like when I go out and about and people come up to me and talk to me, like, you know, I get told this. Thank you for saying the things we can't say. More than I get that more than anything because everybody's so scared of cancel culture.
Yeah.
And so scared of offending anybody. And, and I'm not. I mean, well, I am, but I'm still just, this is my call.
Be you.
And so I've watched what he's done to the school system, the roads,
Hold on.
the water.
What do he do with the school system? Like,
man, they're finna close 13 schools.
Yeah, they finna close 13. So they got something to do with the mayor?
What's got to do with, people leaving out of Jackson. Jackson's the fastest shrinking city in the country. It jumped San Francisco. And I don't know if you've been keeping up with how bad that's gotten out there. I mean, there's poop all in the streets, and it's a terrible situation.
Yeah.
We have surpassed San Francisco as the fastest shrinking city in the country. Well, the schools are terrible. That means population is leaving. Yeah. So there's no need for those schools anymore. No need for them schools. And then the way they rank is terrible too. I don't know it off the top of my head, but then people say, oh, well, they don't have the funding. Well, they do have the Jackson students per head gets more money per head than any other district in the state. So we can't say anything about them. They're not getting funded. Yeah. They're getting funded. Then, of course, they can just go to the infrastructure, crime, everything else. People say, oh, well, Clay, he can't predict there's going to be crime. That's the one I get a lot. Yeah. How that man supposed to know that they was going to do this? Yeah. Let me ask you a question. You know, the police department has gone from like 500 cops to less than 200 active ones. If you were going to commit a crime and there's a cop car around, you going to commit that crime? Nah. I mean, even no matter what it is, like even if you're a stone cold killer, you're probably not going to want to do it in the proximity of a cop. Yeah. Well, you had this anti-cop environment. It goes back to my buddy Anthony Fox, what they did with him. That was to set a tone. That was like post George Floyd. I knew the mayor, they wanted their own, like, I gotta say, like a Jacktown George Floyd. They wanted that because it brings attention to it. They see all the money that comes in, all the resources that come in, all these groups. I don't want to say Black Lives Matter group, but stuff that would stem off from that. Yeah. And that's a lot of money. It's a lot of popularity for a black mayor and he plays the race card all the time. It's just a lot that can do for his career. Yeah. If a situation like that, if a cop was to kill a black guy in Jackson, well, that happened. But it was a black cop that killed a black guy. Yeah. And he didn't even kill him. It was proven that he didn't. But anyway, and it just so happened that guy's name was George. So just all this kind of worked out where they got their sacrificial lamb to try to play this, we're hard on cops. You know, we're not going to allow cops to do this. Yeah. Well, that runs good cops off. So it was an initiative to purge the department. They got it down to under 200 cops for a city the size of Jackson. There's certain precincts in Jackson, man, based on the shift. On certain shifts, we only have 2 cops on duty. Now, this is pre-Capitol Police, but that's the state stepping in and said, you've done such a bad job that we have to provide an entire police department for this city. So people ask me why I don't like the mayor. I watched what's happened under his 6 years now.
All right, man. But check this out.
And that's in my opinion. You know, everybody's entitled to theirs.
Yeah.
So if you met the guy, you may say, "Oh, but Clay's a great guy." Yeah, but his politics, you know, everything's politics.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes it's like he's using the national far left agenda to rule a city.
Yeah.
That don't work, man. That may work on this national stuff and supports all that transgender stuff. I ain't about that.
Yeah. So everybody want to know, why is your focus, like we done talked about it already, but people want to know, why is your focus point really on Jackson black people crime in Jackson? Well, like, we know white people do crime in Jackson too, but you probably don't never post it. I know you post the meth heads and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, on the side of the road, but you never just post like a white man shots another white man, or a white man got caught stealing out the store, but you a white man running from the police, but you always catch the black man running from the police, or the black man high speed chase, you know what I'm saying, black man shot somebody, 3 people dead again in Jackson, you know what I'm saying, you always report the black crime, but it's very sudden that you post the white crime in Jackson.
Well, can you pinpoint an incident where any of that stuff happened on the flip side and it was on the news? I just posted what's on the news.
Thank you. That's the answer I was looking for.
I post what's on the news. I'm not an investigator.
Yeah.
I'm not even a journalist, really. I'm more of a blogger.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, I'm a content creator. I look for content all day.
Yeah.
People send us stuff too. People send you stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, people send me stuff all day. Like last night, I was getting ready to get on that float. Somebody sent me that meth head digging for gold on County Line Road. Well, that was a white guy, I think.
Yeah.
I post what I get and what I have access to. I can't, if it don't get reported, I can't post it. I mean, now I do. Like, it goes back to our earlier conversation. I wish more white folks were doing some of this shit, because it would eliminate the need for these conversations.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I wish nobody was doing it.
Yeah, we wish nobody was doing crime at all.
Yeah. You know, but look, Jackson's 90% black.
Yeah.
I told you this before we got started. Jackson's 90% black. Just math tells you with those demographics, whoever's committing the crime, the majority of the crime, is most likely going to be black. If 90% of a city's black, the overwhelming majority of that crime is going to be committed by black people. And I use Brandon as the flip side.
Yeah.
Or Madison out here. It's majority white. The majority of the crime is going to be committed by somebody white.
White, yeah.
It's just the majority of the area.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, at the end of the day, man, Jackson's my home, or was my home for the longest time.
Hold on.
That's why I focus on Jackson.
Yeah, everybody want to know that too. Like, is you from Jackson, or you still stay in Jackson? Like, what? Like, let them know.
I moved out in March of 21, but I'm 46 years old.
Yeah.
I lived in Jackson my entire life up till March of 2021.
There you go.
You know, it's the South Jackson, right off Forest Hill Road.
And you stayed out in South Jackson still?
Yep.
Hey, there you go, y'all.
I mean, so I see it all.
Yeah.
Why, like, I get mad at, like, the white Fondren, Belhaven liberals.
Yeah.
When they try to sit there and act like there ain't no crime in Jackson. You know, they just kind of stick their head in the sand and think Jackson's all rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. I live in the other part of Jackson. You know, and that's why I talk about gas stations all the time. They ain't safe. I mean,
so check this out. There was one of the questions. You done got to it a little early. So if you ran out of gas, you about to run out of gas, you'll skip past Jackson and go somewhere else and get some gas.
Man, if I run out of gas in Jackson, I'll push my car back to Rankin County before I stop at a Jackson gas station.
So I ain't gonna say that. I ain't saying that you scared or nothing like that, but you just don't want you don't want to fuck around and find out.
I know. I'm self-aware.
Yeah.
I'm self-aware. Jackson gas stations are dangerous. For example, that video that went viral the other day that ended up being back from October.
Yeah.
But those guys in front of the QT there at Beasley, right off 55.
Yeah.
You seen it?
Yeah.
Man, they're having a shootout right at the gas station. I mean, just shooting at any damn thing. I don't want to be getting gas and catch one. I ain't worried about like somebody that don't like me.
Yeah.
Catching me slipping. I'm a grown man. You know, if you beat my ass, you beat my ass.
Yeah.
You know, I done got old. You got a good chance of beating my ass. You know, I'm hoping we could talk it out. You know? I mean, I ain't trying to sit here and pretend I'm some badass or something either, you know. I don't want to catch no stray bullet. And it just seems to happen a lot in Jackson at gas stations. You know, it really does.
You got a point now. You got a point. So why don't, since I know the page called Sage Jackson. Every now and then you dip into the other counties, the surrounding area, Madison region and all that. But why don't you? So I know it's crime going on in them other counties.
Yeah.
Like why don't you report that? Like every night, like you probably do it like this. You probably do 5 black crime posts, then boom, a meth lab found in Brandon, or meth lab found in Pearl, or anything. You know what I'm saying? Crackheads gone to jail. Like why you just don't report? Just report everything. I ain't gonna say everything, but why you just don't report it?
I report what's on the news. I mean, I don't go dig into these places mugshots. They're booking stuff.
Oh, so basically everything, I ain't gonna say everything that you post, but mostly everything on your page coming from the news.
Yeah, coming from LBT or Dark Horse Press or National. So I'm not saying, obviously crime happens everywhere. Say it all the time. Daniel, do you have an available window? And do we have the ability to show people?
I don't have that set up.
I'm going to use this as an example. Go to WLBT.com. What I'm going to show y'all is the news channels do this too.
Yeah.
This ain't just Clay, and I'm just getting it from the news. It goes back. I wish more people that look like me were committing crimes and giving me more stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they're not.
Yeah.
But if it ain't on the news, or somebody don't send me something, how am I supposed to know? Go to WLBT, go to the bar, the menu on the far left. Go down to crime. What are my options? What do the links say under that menu?
Metro crime, Jackson homicides, Jackson crime, Mississippi crime.
Does it offer one that says Brandon?
Yeah.
There is no
Madison?
Brandon anywhere on this.
Okay. So basically, the news with the fuckery.
Click on Jackson homicides. I think it's at 14. I checked before I left.
14.
Yep.
So
that's what I use.
yeah.
And that's how I stay on top of the numbers and what's going on. When there was I tell you what, a white dude got arrested for pedophilia the other day in Rankin County.
Yeah.
Against his step grandson.
Yeah.
I missed the story when it came out, but the dad reached out to me and said, "Do what you do." I went straight to it, made videos, put it on all the platforms. When I know about it, I do it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of crime in Jackson I do not report.
Yeah.
A lot of car thefts, a lot of we're gonna talk about the murder. I mean, it's at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's just that wild, over the top GTA type stuff. I'm just gonna talk.
You gonna talk about it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel.
and I do what works. I mean, at the end of the day, this is what I do for a living.
Yeah.
If something's just gonna get 100 views, it doesn't interest me. You know what I mean? Like, so-and-so got arrested for auto burglary. Well, I'm not. That Central Mississippi mugshots can do that.
Yeah.
Post mugshots of people and what they've done. And I'm not knocking them. I enjoy their page.
Yeah.
But that's not what I do. What I do is the salacious, over the top. Whatever is like. If news channels use this saying, if it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. I mean, I wish there was a more well thought out, articulate answer to give, but that's just the truth.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm gonna do is tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Now, people get on me on that. You ain't telling the truth. I'm telling my truth.
Yeah.
I can be wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to knowingly tell you a lie.
A lie. Yeah.
Now, we can disagree and you tell me I'm wrong, but I'm telling you my truth.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of people get a little twisted. And do I have fun? Do I ramp things up? Am I playing a wrestling character a little bit? Yeah. I'm like Hollywood Hogan.
Yeah.
I want to be a heel. I want to be the guy you love to hate.
So why come off so strong though? When you making your post, you be like 2 black idiots. I ain't gonna say black. I don't think you said black idiots, but you be like 2 idiots. You know what I'm saying? Armed and dangerous, but they might not be even had a gun on them. But you might say they armed and dangerous and all that stuff.
All right, so I'm glad you asked this. Why do I
come off so hard?
So hard. Why do I say thugs when it's only black people? And okay, I'm probably a little in the wrong on that one. What happened was it was happening. I would like thug alert or something like that. And somebody said, "Hey man, you're only doing this when it's black folks, not white folks." I was like, and people started fucking with me about it.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, what I'm gonna do is a good bad guy. I'm just gonna continue to do what I'm doing and just agitate you a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of what spawned. Then I just quit doing the thug thing. I was like, all right, I don't want to have to remember every time. You know, so I was like, I don't really care for the word thug anyway. But then the black thing, like, why do I specify race?
Yeah.
The news does. Every time it's a black person involved, they say it. Especially if they have I saw one of your commenters when you announced this say, "Don't let me control the narrative," or "Don't let me change the narrative," or something like that. And to that, I say the news always leads. Anytime there's an opportunity to make somebody white look like a racist, or anytime somebody white commits a crime against somebody black, they make it a point to tell you victim was black. A black man was hit upside the head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, well, if we're going to make everything about race, you know, I just want to, and what I hope my legacy will be is that I brought attention to how my side sees things.
Yeah.
You know, if you make everything about race, well, don't get mad when I do. You know, if I talk about two black men, ...
Yeah.
You know, well, if the black guys had been the victims, the story would have started with two black men.
Yeah.
And it does every time, especially like post George Floyd and all that. And that's just the news channel's pandering.
So you just falling behind the news.
In
some kind of way, you just falling behind the news.
Yeah, I'm just saying, well, I mean, if they were the victim, their race would be important.
Yeah.
But if they're the perpetrator, why isn't it relevant?
You're right.
You know, and again, I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm just saying that that's how I see it.
Yeah.
You know.
So check this out. I seen that you had on your page about some DJs. See, they weren't gonna let you make it in the city with your page, and let you make no kind of money with that page, doing anything with that page, man. Look at you now, man. Like you wanna say the DJ name?
I'll call them out. Well, one of them's a DJ. One of them's a retired rapper, Kamikaze.
Oh shit.
And Scrap Dirty.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't got no reason not to call them out. I call them out on my radio show a good bit.
Yeah.
You know, so it is what it is, man. These are guys I was friends with for a long time.
So y'all was
me
friends.
and Kamikaze brought Kevin Gates to my last club. We did business together.
Yeah.
And then the second I started doing Save Jackson, legitimately, when it was still just pictures of empty buildings, he got on there and made this diatribe about Clay Edwards runs the Save Jackson page. He's a racist. I'm a racist? Was I a racist when we were breaking bread for 10 years? Throwing events at my clubs and all that?
Yeah.
You know, but suddenly because I support Trump, I'm an automatic racist. You know?
Yeah.
So that pissed me off. You know, this is a guy I was friends with. I mean, I'm sure he won't say we weren't friends, but I considered him a friend.
Yeah.
You know, so if you thought I was that, why didn't we have a conversation at some point?
Yeah.
You know, and then Scrap ain't even from here. He's from Chicago, so he don't need to be worried about what I'm doing in Jackson.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care how much he pretends to be from here.
Golly. So Kamikaze was your friend before
I
all this.
Yep.
So basically, like at the beginning, you said you weren't a racist, but you done had a lot of black friends. You done made money with black people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't pay no attention to the race stuff. My brother, I got a guy I consider my brother, black dude. You know, grew up together, stayed at my house. I mean, I go to his family reunion still, and he's back in town. He moved to Arizona, but
yeah,
you know, he's a hardcore Democrat. We don't agree politically.
Yeah,
but he's still my brother.
Yeah,
you know. And I don't want to play but I got black friends card.
Yeah.
But man, there was for 20 years of my life, I was always in the minority. I was always the white guy, like the token white guy in the group.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was always a conservative back then too. But back then, we had not replaced our religion with our politics.
Yeah.
You know, like politics is now what pop culture once was. It's like we have to live and die by this. And I don't agree with it, but it's the culture we're in right now.
Yeah.
Man, like I said, for your audience that's old enough to remember,
yeah,
I had Club 105 for 10 years on Capitol Street, the one that was upstairs on the corner of Ferris and Capitol.
Yeah. For
9 of those 10 years, and maybe it was 8 years or whatever, but for 9, all but for 1 year, that was a hard 99% black club. You know, did that for all that, man, made all them friends, lifelong friends.
Yeah.
Brought on concerts to town. Then I opened up, me and some other guys opened up Club 110 right behind it a couple years later. Took like a 4-year hiatus.
Yeah.
Got back into that. Most people remember the Kevin Gates show. You know, we brought the Kevin Gates down.
That when he first came. Yeah.
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 We did it on a Wednesday night with 2,600 people in there.
We remember that.
It was. I know one of the things I take so much pride in on that show, and Kamikaze set that up. Kamikaze got me and the promoter together.
Yeah.
And we did that show. We helped promote it, and it was a smashing success. You know, we all made a little change. And, well, we had about a 50-50 black-white crowd.
Yeah.
It was just one of the few times in the city that everybody got together, enjoyed it, no drama.
Yeah.
Some white guy did smack a black girl in the ass, and she whooped his ass, but, you know, that was funny.
Yeah.
You know, but like that was the only race incident. I wouldn't call it a race incident. That was just the only incident that was like a black-white, white-black kind of thing, and he was inappropriate, and she defended herself. So
yeah.
So you know, it's like, and then I don't want to feel like I'm going down the resume and saying please like me.
Yeah.
I don't want this to come across like that. But I think my history is relevant.
Yeah.
To how I'm where I'm at, to why I'm where I'm at now.
Well, the older crowd might know you, but
Yeah.
the younger crowd don't see you, don't know you really. So all they see is what they see on Instagram. So they gonna call you a racist and all that.
I got thick skin anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna.
Yeah,
I got
you
a
gonna have to
buddy
go
that used
through
to say you're gonna have that on big jobs.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna have that, and I can't. I'm not here to entertain to please my haters.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to like me. If you don't. Yeah. But I grew up in South Jackson. We made that clear. Actually, I grew up over off Raymond Road on Shady Lane.
Yeah.
Up until I was 15. My
Yeah.
dad owned a store on Lynch Street. A lot of it, the older crowd knew it as a juice store. We sold the draft beer.
Yeah.
Wasn't a gas station, but if you were going down Ellis, like towards Westland Plaza from 80,
Yeah.
turn right on Lynch. It was the first store on the left, right across from the car washes. And it was called the Shortstop. So I grew up down there on Lynch Street.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up nothing but around black folks. You know, I didn't suddenly become a racist after 40-something years of living in Jackson around black folks. But Jackson is my city. I mean, I don't live there right now because it's a shit show. But, if you can afford to be away from crime, you're going to move away from crime, regardless of what your race is. Yeah, I mean, it's irrelevant. Money goes where it feels safe.
Yeah.
I ain't saying I got money. I'm just saying I make enough that I don't have to live there around that nonsense.
Yeah. I feel you on that, man.
Like I feel safe going to a gas station in Brandon. the mayor of Brandon ain't wearing a bulletproof vest to the grocery store.
That's what I was finna ask you about. How you feel about this situation? The mayor wearing a bulletproof vest at the grocery store.
All right, full disclosure. I know he was on a ride along with the cops.
Yeah.
And that may be an insurance thing for them. Like he has to, when a citizen does a ride along, you have to wear a bulletproof vest. And Frank Melton used to wear bulletproof vests all the time.
Yeah.
But Frank was out there kicking in doors.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he needed a bulletproof vest.
Frank was out there hitting them doors.
Yeah, he needed. I mean, we can all agree on that, whether we like Frank or not. And I'm conflicted on Frank. He arrested us one night at the club, or had his folks run a sting on my club one night and arrested my dad, charged him with 20 counts, made up counts of contributing to delinquency of a minor, saying we let minors come in with fake IDs. We didn't. But they didn't know at the time was that law had been taken off the books and they couldn't even arrest nobody on that. So Frank hated nightclubs. So, I mean, that's my conflict with Frank, but I respect it. I was even at his inauguration party with Bobby Rush down on Fair Street.
Yeah.
There's a famous picture of Frank with two prostitutes. I was there when that picture was taken.
Yeah.
So I respected the fact he was kicking indoors and he was trying.
Yeah.
Now people will say ulterior motives. Was he trying to get rid of the competition? I mean, we've heard it all about Frank.
We done heard it all, man.
None of it was proven. Because I talked to one of the guys that was investigating on that worked for the DA's office. And they were never able to get any evidence that Frank Melton sold dope. But back to Chalkway with the bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
I could talk about Frank Melton stories all day. I just thought it was a bad look. And you got to be self-aware. You got to be self-aware.
No lie. Yeah, that was a bad look.
Yeah, you just got to be like, no, I'm the mayor. I'm taking this off to go in here. But now the mayor in the grocery store in South Jackson in a city that he constantly says ain't as dangerous as it is.
Yeah.
He feels safe walking around. There's a picture of him with a bulletproof vest on in the grocery store, and I don't care what the reason is.
Yeah.
It's out there.
Yeah, that was a bad look. I ain't gonna even lie. It messed me up. When I seen it on your page, I said, like, my eyes got big. Like, ain't no way he did. Like, I want to know who his PR team is. Like, I want to know who on his team to make him put that vest on and walk through the grocery store like that, man. Yeah. Like, it's plenty of people in the grocery store ain't got bulletproof vests on.
That was my next thing.
They comfortable shopping and stuff like that, but he did that really messed everything. That really threw me off. I ain't gonna even lie.
And, and they clearly weren't on a call at the grocery store, I'm assuming. Yeah. They were doing a PR stop. Now, if he's with the cops and they go on a call.
Yeah.
Well, all's fair. I get it, you know. But to go in the grocery store to do a little, hey, look at me.
Yeah.
I'm in the neighborhood with a vest on, at least put it on under. I've never understood why people wear them on top. Because if somebody does want to catch you slipping,
they just shoot you in the head, aim up. Yeah.
Yeah, or down.
Yeah.
So I've never understood that, but it was just a bad look. And I said in my video, you'll never see the mayor of the suburban areas go in the grocery store, ride along or not, with a bulletproof vest on. The optics are terrible.
Yeah, that was terrible. So, Chetty, I got this question for you right here. Yeah, in a room full of people from another place, other places around, you know what I'm saying, would you encourage them to come to Jackson?
No.
And why?
Crime. Now, there are certain areas of Jackson that are safe.
Yeah.
I mean, I go downtown, I eat at Martin's at least 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Right there by Howland Mouse.
Yeah.
That pretty much if the Capitol Police has jurisdiction.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that. But you say you ain't gonna encourage nobody to come to Jackson?
Let me ask you this. What's in Jackson? See, we used to have this argument.
Yeah.
What's in Jackson that's not in Rankin or Madison County? What do you have to go to Jackson to do that you can't do in the other places?
I'm gonna say club. That's all I can say.
And on the flip side of that, for people that live out in the other area, we got clubs too. The Shuckers, you know, some other stuff. Now, are there any what I call like hip hop clubs, dance clubs? No.
Yeah.
Jackson's got that, and that is the one thing, right?
Yeah.
Is some clubs, and I'll give it that if that's your thing. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm 46, you know, and I own clubs for a long time. If I never walk in another one again, it'll be too soon. So I can only speak for myself.
Yeah.
Like why? There's no reason for me to come to Jackson. I ain't saying there ain't great food in Jackson. I ain't saying there ain't great restaurants and bars and all that. Great restaurants and bars out here too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just like, what is the advantage to have to deal with the potential crime, your car getting broken into or whatever, that's worth going to Jackson for that I can't get out here. Especially if you live in Jackson, you live in Jackson. It's easier logistically. It makes more sense to go.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, look, I can go to, if we just want to talk about like the racial demographic stuff, I can go to a restaurant or a bar in Flowood on any Friday or Saturday night and like half shell.
Yeah.
And or Georgia Blue. And I'm the minority in there. And you can look at the parking lot and see a bunch of Hinds County tags. You can say people from Jackson are coming out here too because they don't want to deal with the BS.
I ain't even say they want to deal with the BS. If it was in Jackson, they'll go.
Yeah.
But everything leaving Jackson. Yeah. It really ain't nothing in Jackson but the clubs and the little small sports bars and the little and some of the food, the nice food places. You know what I'm saying? The mom and pop food places.
And you know, and I want to say something real quick too. A lot of times what I get to do, it's like I'm the anti-convention and visitors bureau for Jackson.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm trying to run people off. I'm not, I respect the business owners, and I try to always give them free plugs, talk about how good their food is.
Yeah.
I try to give it some yin to the yang. But, you know, I can't, the news, WLBT's got a way bigger platform than Clay Edwards does.
Yeah.
And they're the ones reporting this stuff.
I'm going to tell you like this. Your platform might be bigger than Our platform is bigger than WLBT.
Well, with how it connects.
Don't nobody watch TV.
No, I look at their website.
They'll go to your page, and then they'll go watch the news to get more information on it. You know what I'm saying?
And hey, I'm glad you said that. I think most people understand that when there's a real local story, I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like a big one. And because I can look at the podcast numbers and the download, the videos and all that.
Yeah.
When there's a big story, my stuff spikes. So what it tells me is whether they like me or not, I'm a trusted source.
Yeah.
People are coming to see what I got to say about it.
Yeah.
And I sort of love about the radio show. It's like this. It's 2 hours of me every morning.
Yeah.
Getting to talk things through. On a 60-second video, why is it over the top? Why you ask why do I act the way I do so boisterous?
Yeah.
You got to. People, you know, you gotta grab people quick. Most people watch about 3 seconds. If I started my TikToks or Instagrams off, okay, guys, so here's what happened today. Next. But if I started out breaking news, fucked around and found out, Jackson, Mississippi, people gonna listen. Yeah. You know, people tell me I'm right, wrong. Again, me being right or wrong is irrelevant. But if we're just talking about sheer numbers, and then people will say, well, so you're only doing this for the attention? It didn't start out like that.
Yeah.
Like it started out because I was genuinely concerned about what was going on, and I still am. I mean, dude, Can we see this? What is that tattoo? What does that tattoo say?
Jackson. Oh, he got Jackson tatted on his arm, like real talk.
It says, "Welcome to Fabulous."
Welcome to Fabulous Jackson, Mississippi. Like he got Jackson, Mississippi tatted on his arm. Like he really for the city, y'all. Like
this grenade here used to be Highway 80. I just didn't like the way it looked.
Yeah, he had it. Then he just showed me that he had Highway 80 tatted on his arm. He just didn't like the way he looked. I
started working on Highway 80. Yeah, and it felt kind of cheesy to work on Highway 80 and have a Highway 80 tattoo.
Yeah.
So there's no way, unless you're a criminal, that you can sit here and say what's going on in Jackson is working for you.
You right though, man. It's a problem in Jackson.
Yeah,
everybody know that, but it's like a white man saying it's a problem is being racist. Like we can say it's a problem all day. We know it's a problem, but like I said, the way you said and how you come on saying it, they call you racist, and the white man don't supposed to say that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know that I'm talking to a bunch of knuckleheads too. Like people ask me why do I cuss and why am I so over the top?
Yeah,
I need to get your attention.
Yeah,
you need to hear it. You don't have to like how I'm saying it, but you need to hear it. Like people need to hear it. Man, what I love is off the internet.
Yeah,
more black folks stop me to take pictures and tell me thank you for what I'm doing than white people. You know, there's people out there who ain't on the internet necessarily in the comments.
Yeah,
they get up and go to work every day. Good folks that know there's a problem, and I'm glad I'm saying it.
Yeah, because
a lot of them, because of the culture, they can't say it because it comes back to why you knocking another black man.
Yeah, you right.
You know, that's a problem. Nobody needs to be above criticism. People need to know. I mean, y'all keep me in check. Y'all ain't scared to criticize me.
Yeah, you might well criticize everybody else, huh?
Yeah, I mean, next man up. I'll take it, but man, dish it out when somebody else is doing it too. Don't get starstruck when the mayor gets around. Ask him some of the questions, man. Why wasn't the water plant properly staffed?
Yeah,
it ain't just the pipes.
But I don't think that got nothing to do with him, though. You think that got something to do with him? The water?
The city managed that. Public Works managed that.
Yeah.
Public Works is under him.
Yeah.
If he's doing his job, if he's managing his people, he knows, hey, we got a staffing problem here at the water plant.
Yeah.
Ask him why the water plant wasn't properly staffed. Ask him why JPD numbers got below 200 when they're supposed to be up around 500. Just ask him some simple questions.
Yeah.
Why ain't the red lights working, Jackson? Someone with 30 years old, we should have started replacing them. We've been doing this for 6 or 7 years now. You can only blame it on the previous regime for so long.
Yeah.
Or regimes for so long. People will forgive a lot. People will put up with a lot. But never accepting any responsibility is nerve-wracking. It's distasteful and it's disrespectful. To just never say, yeah, we screwed this up. We're going to work on it. My bad.
Yeah.
I've learned, I'm in a little customer service stuff. I mean, selling radio and, selling these shirts and was in car sales for 12 years.
Yeah.
I made lots of mistakes. What I've learned, and as a customer, when I go somewhere, I understand everything ain't going to be perfect. How do you handle the mistake? How do you handle your screw up?
Yeah.
Do you make it right? Are you honest about it? Or do you one of these people who immediately try to point the finger like, oh, well, that happened. Yeah, but this, wasn't my fault. They did something wrong.
Yeah.
I don't like that. And the older I get, and I don't want to use one of Polo's words here.
Yeah.
Accountability. He's always about accountability. But it's true. Accountability. Hold yourself accountable. The fight in Brandon last week. And I told you I'd go down some rabbit holes here.
Yeah.
The fight in Brandon. I went hard on those kids.
Yeah.
I went hard on them too. I didn't post the video because it would get deleted. I did share the original post.
Yeah.
But it got deleted. So I did share the video. Like, on Facebook, we can just hit share. But it don't affect your page if it gets deleted. It just affects the original person. So I did do that. But what I was impressed with on that deal, in full disclosure, I know the kid's dad that got beat up.
Yeah.
And come to find out, I know 3 of the other kids' dads on the other side. And what I liked about it was they called me and they were accountable. They weren't taking up for their kids.
Yeah.
One of them snatched his son up, and this is before the charges had even been pressed, took him to the police department, made him show the cops the video and tell them what he did. Accountability.
Yeah.
You know, that I was like, you know what, not making excuses for them, holding them accountable.
Hold them accountable.
You know, good, proactive parenting. We ain't
Yeah.
saying kids don't make mistakes, but how is it handled? Seems like, and of course, I only see the surface level in Jackson, right?
Yeah.
I'm not in the neighborhoods. I'm not in anybody's house.
Yeah.
I just see the surface level, and on the surface, it looks like there's a parenting issue.
Yeah.
In Jackson.
That's what I'm finna get to. A lot of people DM me and said, "Why you so hard on these teens?" Why you so hard on these teens when they ain't got no guidance? Like, you might get on here and say, 2 juvenile delinquent and done did it again. You know what I'm saying? 14, 15. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you so hard on them when they don't have guidance?
Man, you got to know the difference of right and wrong. I mean, come on. The one you're talking about, too, it's the most recent one I've been held on. And that was the 3 that, or at least the most recent time I've done what you're saying.
Yeah.
Was the time the kids escaped from the juvenile detention center. Well, one of them was in there for carjacking and murder, so he was in there for capital murder. The other 2 for carjacking. Bro, I don't care if you were raised by a pack of animals. You're a human being. You know that ain't, you can't do that. Then you escape from jail for the second time, mind you, and get out and immediately carjack somebody. Well, they stole a car. Then they carjacked a lady or a guy in Jackson for a van. Then they get down to Natchez, and they carjack somebody and shoot a lady, a little old church lady, walking out of church. Fucking juvenile delinquents. You know, I'm gonna be hard on that.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. That's my answer for that. I mean, stupid is, stupid does.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, you got to know the difference in right and wrong.
Yeah, you got to know the difference right and wrong.
I mean, I say all this, man. I was a fuck up. I mean, I was knucklehead, number one.
Yeah.
I was from really, really good parents that were very involved in my life. Frankly, still are.
Yeah.
And I was insistent, this is back in the 90s, early 90s to mid 90s, I was insistent on McDowell Road was the thing when I was growing up. I was insistent on out there getting in fights. And I've been on both sides of that 5-on-1 thing. Yeah. I've been one of the 5, and I've been the 1.
Yeah.
You know, and breaking in cars. I got arrested for breaking in cars before. You know, I've been to jail for fighting in bars before.
Yeah.
The last time I went to jail for fighting in a bar, I ended up on probation for a year, house arrest for like 3 months. I spent 4 days in jail out in Raymond. That was 2007. That was when I said, okay,
You gotta leave this shit alone. You gotta get right.
I don't want to be out here no more.
Yeah.
I was in jail so long, but I was starting to like bologna sandwiches.
Ooh, them ain't no more bologna sandwich.
No,
ain't no
wet
bologna.
bread.
Yeah, emu.
Yeah. So, I mean, I speak on all this from a place that I've been there, and it ain't too late to change. That's why, you know, I make no doubt. I don't like telling people this. I mean, but I like to be honest too.
Yeah.
Not give other people a chance to pretend they got a skeleton in my closet. You know, I talk about it on my radio show a little bit more, but I used to do a lot of dope. I used to do meth when I was in the nightclub business.
Yeah.
Talk about it all the time. I saw what it did to me. And at the end of the day, that's probably the reason I ain't in the bar business anymore, is I was staying high, partying a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and inevitably you take your eye off the business ball when you're doing it. So like when I see these meth heads running up and down 80, I ain't got no sympathy for them. Get straight.
Get straight, yeah.
Get straight, you know. I've been on both sides of that. You know, so it's just a miracle from God. I'm not a felon myself. Yeah. You know, so if people want to get their life straight, it's easy to get your life straight. Yeah. You just got to decide not to do it. Not to do it. Yeah. You know, and until people are ready, hell, I got a sponsor on my radio show, Mercy House Teen Challenge. Yeah. And it's Mercy House Adult and Teen Challenge. I'm sorry. They're a drug rehabilitation, Christ-centered rehab clinic down in where are they at, Daniel? Georgetown.
Yeah, Matt's gonna be here tomorrow, actually.
Who? Matt. Cool. Good people. You know, and they're the same way. Like they're not going into the pits on Highway 80 and snatching people out and saying, we're gonna save you. Yeah. When people get ready to be saved,
they welcome them arms wide. Yeah. I'm
the same way.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody comes to me and says, Clay, I'm ready to get cleaned up. Can you help me anyway? Man, we'll crank it all up, start raising money, try to send them to rehab when they're ready. You got to be ready. I had to be ready. Yeah. And one of the other things too, you talked about like these kids coming up, and here's a caveat where I understand there's a gray area. Yeah. You talk about these kids coming up, these juveniles doing wrong, getting caught up in the game, right? Well, when you're trying to get sober, for instance, you can't hang out with people who aren't sober.
Sober, yeah.
You had to remove yourself from the pit of hell.
Yeah.
And that's hard, especially, and we'll use crime as the same thing. You don't want to commit crime, but everybody in your circle is out there on the corner.
On the corner, yeah.
Or doing it. It's hard to break away, but you got to find a way to break away. You got to want it.
Yeah.
You know, and I get the dynamics in certain parts of Jackson way different than what I grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that. But because when I was their age, again, we was out fighting and raising hell, but people were giving us hell too. There just wasn't social media at the time.
Yeah.
You know, so I to say I understand it, but I ain't going to quit doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
So what you feel about, I know this hit the internet hard too with Jackson, with the new legislation, with the Capitol Police, and they getting their own judge. They getting their own everything separate from Jackson when it's in Jackson. Do you feel like, do you feel like that's racist though?
Why's it got to be racist?
Yeah.
It's not wanting crime racist?
Nah, you're right.
That's one of the...
That's what everybody's saying. It's like, it throws you off, like, why these people just can't work with Jackson people? But they got to just go get a whole, like, Capitol Police might got more police than Jackson Police. Why them people can't just come work for Jackson? You know what I'm saying? Like, what it is?
They pay better.
That's what I'm saying. Why Jackson police can't pay better? Like I'm saying, like,
they can't.
How, put it like this.
The city council needs to appropriate the funds.
But check this out. So how can another group of people come in and have more money than the city?
The state. I mean, they got to protect the capital. I mean, look, we wouldn't be in this situation had Chockway and them not screwed the police department up.
Yeah.
Had they not started arresting their own cops and sending them, on trumped up charges and sending them to jail. They clearly got overturned by the state appeals court. Do you want to go be a cop when you could just be doing your job and end up in prison?
Yeah.
$25,000, $30,000 a year? Hell no. All the crap you got to put up with, you at least need to know that your boss got your back.
Yeah.
But the HB 1020, and let's talk about the court system thing. You mentioned you mentioned race.
Yeah.
It's a black city and this, that, and the other. Or is it racist that they did it? That's how you asked it. Was it racist?
Yeah, was it racist that they did it? And
that's one of the things that grinds my gears is when somehow or another wanting to fight crime has got to be race situated. Race centered. It's not. I mean, the citizens of Jackson, behind closed doors, know they want to be safe.
Yeah.
If the people not committing crimes know they want to be safe, if you ain't out breaking the law, what does it matter? And if what they're doing may make your area safer, why would you be against it? Most aren't, but they find the few who are. And then, the mayor beats that race drum.
Yeah.
It's the blackest city in the state, and we've got a white court. Well, they'll be appointed. There will be black judges in there. We got a black federal judge in Jackson now that was appointed, Wingate.
Yeah.
He's the one that ruled on all this and said, no, this is all staying. He's the one that had to rule on the water stuff too. We can get back into that, but I think it's ridiculous. And to me, it goes back to the black stuff. And if they make it about black, because we're the blackest city, then I'm gonna make it about race. We're gonna talk about it from that perspective. It was like, I think it's ridiculous. Why wouldn't you just want to be safe unless you're the criminal? Real talk. What do you think about it?
I'm gonna be honest, I ain't into politics.
Yeah.
I ain't into that. I'm born and raised from Jackson. I'm from Verdant Ditch.
Yeah.
One of the worst neighborhoods in Jackson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Born and raised. But it's always been crime. It's just we got social media now. Everything getting seen now. Sure. So I'm just like this. Like, don't mess with me, I ain't gonna mess with you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna go out trying to commit crimes. I ain't trying to go out and do none of that. Like, just leave me and my family alone, leave my people alone, and I ain't got to worry about none of that. The American do whatever he want to do. Like you said, you get you some money, you can leave. Yep. That's what everybody doing. Everybody getting money and leaving. You know what I'm saying? So it just ain't really. I ain't gonna say it ain't affect me, but like when it come down to somebody I went to school get killed, that when it hit me. You know what I'm saying? Somebody I hang with growing up die, it hit me then. But like, all the crime going on, I ain't gonna even lie, bro. I don't even pay attention to it because it's always been there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's who it's not fair for.
Yeah.
it's not fair for the people who own homes in these neighborhoods, who own businesses in the city.
Yeah.
You know, they're invested,
Yeah.
whether it's their mortgage, their business, whatever. Because it goes back to money goes where it feels safe.
Yeah.
Money don't feel safe in Jackson right now. You know, but it's doing the property values in these neighborhoods. It's just torpedoing them. You know, like my parents' house over there, I know they live over in South Jackson, over in Forest Hill Road still. You know, they got this big, nice house. It ain't worth a third of what it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, because the area's in.
Yeah. And that area ain't too bad.
Ain't too bad, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
That Elton Road area's gotten bad. And they're kind of squeezed between Byram and Elton Road.
Yeah.
You know, like those gas stations at Elton Road, those apartments there, they're rough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a lot of crime moving out over that way.
Yeah.
You know, and who wants to, you know, 10 years ago, the house was probably worth $300,000. You know, I don't know what it's worth today, but it ain't $300,000.
Yeah.
You know, in my opinion. I'm not a real estate appraiser, but, you know, I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to figure out that it's gotten worse than it has better.
So
I just think that going back to the court system,
and
just putting a bow on that from my perspective, if it'll help make it safer, who really gives a damn?
Yeah.
I mean, why do you care? I mean, it's like, oh, they're going to disproportionately, that's the word that gets used a lot, disproportionately affect black people more. But that goes back to who's committing the most crime. Thank you. You know, just don't commit crime. That goes back to the demographics of the city. Well, the city's 90% black.
Yeah.
And of course, it's going to most likely disproportionately affect black folks more because the demographics of the city say so.
Yeah.
But does that mean it's racist? Not wanting crime ain't racist. That's normal. That's how we have a civilized society. Not wanting people hanging out their car windows at Beasley and Atkins having a shootout.
Yeah.
Not wanting guys running up and down North State Street having a GTA-style shootout that kills an innocent person. You know, that happened, Friday? Local DJ. The guy's name was Anthony Davis. If my memory serves me correct.
Yeah.
So I try to keep up with this stuff, man. I try to keep up with the names of these victims because he was just on his way home from work. 5 in the afternoon. Catches one from two assholes driving down the road shooting at each other. JPD ain't caught him yet. Capitol Police ain't caught him yet. Let me ask you this. You think if that had happened in Pearl, would those folks be arrested by now?
I don't even know. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
But I know us black people, we ain't going out that way to start no shit or do nothing. Like,
well, okay, so I'm glad you said that because they have created a fuck around and find out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Reputation out there.
Yeah.
White people ain't fucking up over there either.
Yeah, ain't nobody messing up in Madison, Brandon, Pearl. Yeah, cause
that ain't exclusive to black folks, I promise.
Yeah.
Like, we know not to do that too.
Yeah. We ain't going that way to start no shit, cause we know we're not saying Jackson ain't gonna give us 100 years. We just know Madison them gonna ban you. They gonna goddamn it put your ass on display.
It's a lot of proactive policing.
Yeah.
You know, just at the end of the day. A lot of proactive. You know, I don't want to call it profiling, but you know, I'm sure there's some of that to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 9 out of the last 10 guys, and this is human nature. 9 out of the last 10 guys I arrested for doing ... look like this.
Yeah.
Well, I see somebody else that looks like that, and I don't know. They don't tell me their policing methods. I'm just using common sense here.
Yeah.
You roll through looking like one of the last 10 guys that committed the same crime.
Yeah.
They're probably gonna put their eyes on you. You know.
You right.
And if that's black guys that all look a certain way, then it's gonna be black guys. If it's white guys that look a certain way, same thing.
So why do you feel
they hate the white kids that drive the squatty trucks too? They give them hell.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not an exclusive to like saying, okay, it's a guy with a black dude with rims on his truck. If white kids will, they get the same thing, but we all only see it through our lens or kind of see things the way we want to see it.
All right, check this out. So I seen this the other day, like a bunch of kids, like in Jackson when a bunch of people get together and like cars get together, police come and break it up. You know what I'm saying? Like we got a lot of car clubs in Jackson, and they like to post up like at the old the Cowboy Maloney. Mm-hmm. You know, in Jackson, it's still there. They'll post up in their cars and stuff, and they'll just be chilling. But the police come and break it up. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want them there. But you can go right up the road and see a bunch of white kids at Sonic chilling, and the police won't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like this got something to do with race?
Possibly.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not in a car club anymore, but I was in truck clubs and mini trucks.
Yeah.
And stuff back in the day. And they ran us off from everywhere we would go.
Yeah.
Now, at Sonic, you're spending money.
Yeah.
You know, you should be anyway. So they're not going to go run unless Sonic calls and complains. They're not going to run them off from Sonic. But if you're just hoarded up in a parking lot, maybe it's probably you ain't doing nothing. You just what they call it, soliciting. Not soliciting.
Yeah.
What's it called where you loitering?
Yeah.
You're just loitering.
Yeah.
You know, and usually that's comes down from like property management. They'll let the police know, hey, this is running folks off.
Yeah.
Like in a grocery store, the top of a grocery store parking lot. Just using that as an example.
Yeah.
You know, the grocery store will say, hey, we don't want people using our parking lot as a hangout. There's liability issues, all that. And in Brandon, for example, there's a old Piggly Wiggly. They just turned into a Planet Fitness. And for the 2 or 3 years I've been out there, kids like to try to hang out there. And the second they do, it's like a cat and mouse game with the cops. They run them off.
They run them out, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think that's exclusive to race by any means.
So, how do you feel can Jackson be fixed? Like, what need to go on in Jackson to fix everything?
Accountability. You know, people start holding each other accountable. You know, you see somebody about to do something stupid, tell them, don't do that, dog. Don't encourage them. And then this is real core, you know, you can't get in people's home. You can't legislate morality. You can't make people be good parents.
Yeah.
But, man, you gotta ask yourself, are you ready to have a child? And are you ready to take the responsibility that comes with raising these kids? You don't have a kid if you ain't ready for it. Use some protection, get on some birth control, all that. And I had a whole long rabbit hole conversation the other day about white people seem to be dealing with a lot of fertility issues right now, like white women, where it seems like black women aren't. You know, like black women, well, you know, I can go to a grocery store. I can go in Pearl, for example. And I just use Pearl as my example because I like Pearl. I like the mayor. He's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
You know, and I break a lot of bread in Pearl because it's just easier to go there.
Yeah.
I can go into Walmart in Pearl. And if it's a good mix of races. It's not heavy white or heavy black. There's a lot of Hispanics there too. I can see, and I'm just using random numbers here. Don't hold me to this, but I see pregnant people. You can't help but say, oh, I saw a pregnant person.
Yeah, yeah.
I see 2 or 3 black women pregnant.
Yeah.
And then I can see, like, no white women pregnant. And I can hear, because I have a white girlfriend, and she has friends, and, you know, we talk about so-and-so dealing with fertility issues. You always hear about it. Like, they're trying to get pregnant, and they can't.
Yeah.
So I was asking this girl that hosts a health show at the radio station about this. I said, is it just my imagination? I said, or are black women not having the same fertility issues that white women are? And she said, I said, what do you think the cause of that is? And she's like, access to health care. White girls or, you know, people from middle-class areas have better access to health care at a younger age. They're throwing these girls on birth control at 10 years old for acne and all kind of stuff. And I believe it's having long-term effects. And I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Yeah.
I can be a bit of a conspiracy theorist, and I lose some people on this.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you talk for 2 hours on the radio every morning. You know, you get into some weird conversations, you know. But I say all that, and then so like black, you know, low poverty, people in poverty type or lower income don't have the access to health care, whether they're white or black.
Yeah.
And where am I going with this? But it painted the picture for me that maybe sure there are some race issues, you know, when it comes to access to stuff.
Yeah.
White people, and just you can only go back to like this area, right?
Yeah.
Like we live in the Tri-County area.
Yeah.
In the Tri-County area, most of the poverty is black folks.
Yeah.
Below the poverty line.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. Just, you know, so that's why you're seeing people below the poverty line having more kids, because they're not getting that access to birth control and this, that, and the other. To circle back to where we started this, to what do you do to save Jackson? That was kind of my point about don't have kids, and then it got me on a rabbit hole there. But I think that's a big part. Let me check this text. I got somebody texting that's watching the interview too. So Mayor Pearl's listening.
Yeah.
And he says, you can let folks know that we are doing saturations because we're going to hold it down. I think that's why they, you know, do active policing.
Yeah, yeah,
so every city's got to look out for itself. Pearl can be safe.
Yeah.
Jackson can be too. People ask me all the time, Clay, what are you doing to save Jackson?
Yeah, that was one of my questions. So, yeah, what is you doing to save Jackson?
What am I doing? It's what I'm not doing. I'm not in Jackson robbing, shooting, killing. I ain't drug dealing. I don't litter. When I come through, I ain't a threat to others. Now imagine if everybody just did that.
Yeah, you right.
You don't have to do anything special. Just quit being a fuck up.
Damn.
I mean, just
Damn.
don't break the law.
Now that was
And it would take care of itself.
That was a good answer there. You ain't got to do no big program. You ain't got to do all that. You just made it simple, and you just don't be no fuck up. Don't come here and be a fuck up. Just get in, be good, do what's right, and leave. You know what I'm saying? Or if you stay here, just do what's right.
Yeah, don't have me talking about you on one of my videos. don't have me giving you the fucked around and found out grand championship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's easy. Just look, I understand stuff happens.
Yeah,
you know?
stuff. Yeah.
I mean, especially like domestic stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like you can get emotional real quick when your guy or girl get involved. You know, some emotional stuff. I'll take that off the table. That happens everywhere. But the other stuff, you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
You just not do it.
Some shit just be talked out. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta go shoot 3, 4, 5 people. Man.
No, I mean I think what John Knight and Benny Ivy and them are doing with Strong Arms Jackson.
Yeah.
It's like a conflict resolution type deal. Violence interrupters.
Yeah.
That's actually one thing, and I'll give credit where credit's due. The mayor and his sister got that money from whatever grant or however they got it to fund that Strong Arms Jackson.
Yeah.
They call it like credible voices and stuff. You know, like the police may not be able to talk these guys down,
but you got the people.
These
the OGs can. Yeah.
You know, and I'm cool. Whatever works.
Yeah.
You know, but don't try to replace cops with social workers. Add the social workers on top of the cops.
You right.
You know, so because it's gonna work. I mean, it's gonna save life. You can talk it out. I mean, there's clearly I hear the word conflict resolution a lot. There's a conflict resolution problem in Jackson.
Yeah.
All of these murders, if we're going to use Chockway's thing that they're interpersonal violence, if we're going to use that narrative, all these murders can't be murder-worthy offenses. You know, I don't think anything should be a murder-worthy defense. It's me or you, and it's going to be me every time.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick me every time.
Yeah.
You know, if it's one-on-one life-threatening situation, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But somebody disrespecting your clique or whatever, you know, whatever the case may be.
Some shit can just be talked out. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason that can't be talked out.
Yeah, some shit can be talked out.
And I think that's a big part of it. And I want to say one thing, too, about that. One of the popular things people like to say to me is, you know, if you ain't got a positive solution, keep your mouth shut.
Keep your mouth closed, yeah.
And it was like the other day. The flags were being flown. This is just something really little, but it just goes to show the condition that Jackson's gotten in.
And about to pay attention to this shit.
The roads, none of the red lights work downtown. And at Thalia Hall, 3 flags: the American flag, the new state flag, and the city of Jackson flag.
Yeah.
Just torn to shit. It's disrespectful.
Yeah, you know,
especially the American flag, soldiers, and everything that goes behind that.
Yeah.
And then the Jackson flag. We at least want it to look nice anyway. I took a picture. I took a picture of it and posted it because to me it's just like, if you take care of the little things, it lets me know you're on top of your game.
Yeah.
If you let stuff like that go, the red lights go, what else have you let go? So I posted that picture, and this the dude I don't like him, Big Melvin. He works for the mayor. He does his social media, or did at one point anyway. I don't remember his last name.
Yeah.
Real fat dude. He took a picture the next day and tried to say that I was lying, that my picture was fake or it was old. It's like this is the dude that runs the mayor's social media account.
Yeah.
You got time to do this. You got time to argue with me about, and they clearly had replaced the flags.
Yeah.
Because I called them out.
Because you called them out. Yeah. I told you your following bigger than what you think it is, man. I told you.
So that's just kind of stupid stuff that's going on around here. You're going to, instead of saying, hey, man, we're glad he brought that to our attention. We got that taken care of.
Yeah.
We got a lot going on. It slipped. That's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
Accountability, right?
Yeah.
But instead of doing that, they replaced him and then said, you're a liar. Why would I lie about that? Really? There's enough other stuff to take pictures of in Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, how about the fact that they said they was going to move that Andrew Jackson statue, and it's still sitting there?
And it's still sitting there.
You know, whether you agree with it being moved or not, they made a big hoopla about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I did a post about this on my Facebook a while back. I found 20 different news stories, screenshot them.
Yeah.
About all the press they got because they said they were going to move it. It's still sitting there. They just closed the road in front of it. You know, it's like, do something you say you're going to do. Can we get past the press conference? And you actually follow step A, B, C, D?
Yeah.
You know, so the positive solutions on it. I want to end on that, or at least get this out.
Yeah.
Of course, I'll answer any more questions you got. The positive solution is stop robbing, stop killing, just do. It's what you don't do.
What you don't do.
It's what you don't do. That's the solution.
You ain't got to do a rally or none of that.
And never let people tell you that unless you have a solution that you can't speak on a problem.
Yeah.
Yes, I can. I pay taxes. I live here.
Yeah.
I'm having to put up with this shit. You know,
Yeah.
it is this culture of politicians running Jackson right now wants you to think that somehow you're supposed to come do their jobs for them. No, you're not. It ain't my job to go. Somebody said, why don't you go change those flags? It's not my job.
It's not your job, yeah.
And I'm not if I work somewhere and somebody tells me to do something, I ain't never going to say that ain't my job.
Yeah.
I don't work for the city of Jackson. You know, I don't even live there right now, but lived there for a long time. People that live there should be mad about this stuff.
Yeah.
Because if they're letting that slip, what else are they letting slip? You ever heard of the rock band Van Halen? One of the biggest rock bands in history of music. Van Halen.
Yeah.
They had a famous thing. When they were on tour, their tour manager, there's what you call in the concert business called a rider.
Yeah.
You know, it's what the artist has to have for their dressing room, production, all this stuff. He had a thing on there. They want a bucket of M&Ms, a big thing of M&Ms, and you had to pick all the green ones out. It was like the green M&M, maybe it was brown, one of the M&Ms. It was the first thing he would check when he got there. Not because anybody didn't like a certain color M&M. He said if that was handled,
everything, you ain't got to worry about nothing else.
Yeah, yep. The details. If you got that right, everything else is right. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I look at those flags.
Yeah, if you can handle the little stuff, y'all working toward the big stuff.
Yeah.
Basically.
You know, I get it, man. Nobody expects anybody to wave a magic wand and fix all Jackson's problems.
Yeah.
But that's little. That's easy.
Little. Yeah, they need to be taken care of.
There's a lot of visitors. Tagamara's open. There's a lot of visitors that come down there, and it's like, at least let me feel like you did the little things. Like I did paint refurbishing on cars, like ceramic coating and buffing and all that.
Yeah.
And, instead of like trying to fix problems, I tried to make the things I could fix look great. It takes your eyes off like a scratch on a car that won't go away.
Yeah.
Let's just make that the shiniest fender on the car. And just understand that scratch is there. It is what it is. With the potholes or the scratches, they can't go away, right? We can pretend that the flag is the fender. I can polish that. I can make that look good. Let me control what I can control. Without having to do a full rebuild. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad analogy, but you can control the little stuff, like the red lights. There's no reason the red lights ain't working.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And then to say, oh, they're 30 years old. Okay, so why haven't you fixed them in the 6, 7 years you've been in office?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. But, just silly stuff, man.
The silly stuff, yeah.
You got anything else?
Yeah, so out of this interview, man, what you think the people going to see as you now?
Man, I hope they get a chance to hear me. I like long-form conversations.
Yeah.
I hope that some people say, okay, I get it. Some of it's for show. Like the over the top. I'm passionate. I don't do stuff I ain't passionate about.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm passionate about the stories that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But also understand there's some entertainment to it. You need to be entertaining. I get that. And it's worked. Nobody can argue with the success.
Yeah, can't nobody argue with it.
I mean, y'all keep following me.
If they ain't following it, they coming.
You can hit the unfollow button if you don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to see you go. I hope you stay. But,
yeah.
I gained about 1,000 followers a week at this clip on Instagram alone,
Yeah.
TikTok even more. So you keep coming back. I don't hate y'all. I love y'all, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
I love Jackson. I just don't like what's happened to Jackson, and I hate the people who are doing the things in Jackson that create the need for me to even exist.
Yeah.
So if you ain't out fucking up, I ain't talking to you.
Already. Hey, I'm glad we got a chance to sit down, man. We finally got a chance to sit down. We've been talking back and forth for like the last 2 years, and we finally made it happen.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I'm thank you for letting you get everything out so the people can know. I ain't gonna say know you, but can really get some insight on who you really is. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, he ain't racist. He said he ain't racist. He's not racist.
And can I say this about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
About this racist thing. I hear that so much about me, about other people. Man, if it was such a badge of honor to be a racist, don't you think people would admit it more?
Yeah.
Like, we keep hearing about it, you're a racist, you're a racist. Man, can I tell you, disagreeing with somebody don't make you a racist.
Yeah.
Now, I know that we're in this society right now where
anything happen,
it's become faux pas for a white guy to have a disagreement with a black guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, can I not just dislike you because maybe you're an asshole? You know, like Kamikaze, Brad Franklin.
Yeah.
I don't like him. It ain't because he's black, because he's an asshole to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It ain't, his blackness has nothing to do with me not liking him. And I think that gets lost sometimes. Sometimes you feel like people think that if a white guy dislikes you, but it has to be because you're black.
Yeah.
It could just mean that you're an asshole. You know? And it doesn't need to be made about race. You know?
Right. You right. Everything shouldn't be just race. Every time you do something, race. Yeah. You don't like this color because you racist. You don't like this color. You don't eat this food because you're racist. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It shouldn't always be about race. I feel you.
Can we squash something here right now? Can we quit making the kind of foods people like about race? Like you know, the fried chicken and black people stuff. I'm throwing the flag down now. I love fried chicken. If I talk about fried chicken, I ain't being racist.
Yeah.
I love fried chicken. That's my favorite food. Pizza, fried chicken, and steak.
That's my favorite food too, fried chicken.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna apologize to nobody. I don't know how black folks got the copyright on being the only folks that love chicken. You know, like
oh shit!
I did a whole radio show about the best fried chicken in Jackson. They got called in Mississippi, like the best little gas stations and all that.
Yeah.
I got somebody call me a racist because of the chicken stuff. I'm like, fuck you. I love fried chicken. You know, this ain't. You know, we gotta start sitting down having more conversations.
Yeah.
We got to sit down and break bread, share some food, share a bucket of chicken together one day with some folks.
Yeah.
And have a conversation. This just assuming that everybody's a racist or an idiot or a thug or a criminal on both sides. I mean, white people do it to black people too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the stereotypes are real. You know what I mean? And I'm talking to them too. I'm not just talking to your audience. I'm talking to mine. Sit down and have a conversation with somebody.
Yeah.
You know, talk to folks. You know, and I have to do it every now and then. We get to living on the internet a little too long.
Mm-hmm.
You get to just sucked in all the negativity.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just natural.
Yeah.
You know, if like all you see on your news feed is cops beating black guys' asses, you're gonna think that's all cops do.
That's all cops do.
Black guys' asses.
Cops, it got good cops too.
That's that algorithm doing that to you.
Yeah.
If that's all you catch yourself watching, you hit that like button, it's like, oh, this is what they like. I'm gonna show them more of this.
Show them more of this. Yeah.
You know, like my algorithm's full of people committing crimes, and it makes me think that this is all these people do is commit crimes.
Yeah.
You know, break away from the algorithm a little bit. Yeah. And have a conversation. If you have somebody else wants to talk to me, I'm open for conversation. You know, I don't want to repeat the same thing I just did.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, this was the OG one. This is the one I've been wanting to do.
This the one. Yeah, this the one here.
Squirrel is the guy. Like, if you want to talk to somebody in the urban community, black community, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
To me, you're like the Joe Rogan of this side.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's cool. I think what you're doing is cool. I think the fact you asked me to come have this conversation is cool.
Yeah, I think you cool. You know what I'm saying? I like your page. You know what I'm saying? Sure. It brings lights on what's the bad stuff that goes on in Jackson to make the change.
Yeah,
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I've seen the comments under your stuff too.
Yeah,
and you get the black folks telling you, "Hey man, you don't need to be talking down on another black guy or whatever." And that we got to get away from that.
Yeah,
you know,
like when I first started,
how about that guy not commit that crime?
Yeah, man, they gonna do it. It's social media. They gonna do it regardless. Everybody got their own opinion. Mm-hmm. Just like you said, they gonna call you racist regardless of what you do or what you say. Like you clearly told these people, and the reason all the black friends, you love fried chicken, you all that, man. You from Jackson, everything, and these folks still will come to you and say you racist.
Yeah, I mean, you can only say so much. You can only convince people so much. It is what it is. And
the only way you gonna get on the black people's side, you give them some money.
It does feel like that.
Only way you gonna get on their side. I ain't trying to be toward my black people. That's me too.
Yeah, well,
they'll love me if I get them some money. You know what I'm saying? They love. I ain't gonna say they love me now. Some hate, some love me. But
give me some money, I'll love you. I'm coin operated.
Yeah, already. Man, thank you for sitting down with me, man. Thank you, man. Chilling with Squirrel, man. Second episode of the year, man. We gonna keep going up, and he gonna keep going up, man. Like you said. But with the DJ, you said, don't care about what people say.
No,
you know
don't care about what people say. Somebody, like, you know what pushed me harder?
Yeah.
Was them telling me, I tried to sell a Save Jackson shirt, and that's when Scrap Dirty got in my DMs and told me that he wasn't going to allow me to make a penny in Jackson talking about Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay. Stand back and watch.
Yeah.
You know, and then Kamikaze just tried to dirty up my name, everybody, thought I was a racist and stuff, and this, that, and the other. Man, and that was somebody I considered a friend. So I just said, you know what?
Turn up.
All gas, no brakes.
Yeah.
You know, I'd have gone away a long time ago if it wasn't for them throwing some gas on the fire.
Yeah. So no matter what, man, out of this lesson, man, no matter what you doing in life, man, don't give up. No matter what they say, no matter what they tell you what's going to happen, no, man, always follow your dream or follow your job or whatever you want to do, keep doing it, man. That's the biggest lesson I got out of this, man, because he could have been stopped, man. He could have been stopped this shit. I mean, how long you been doing it now?
5 years.
He could have been stopped this shit 4 years ago.
2017, 2018, something like that.
He could have been stopped it, but he kept going, and look where you at now.
This week was the 3rd year anniversary of the radio show.
Yeah.
Friday's episode was the 691st episode.
Yeah.
5 days a week, man. You know, they don't even count all the internet stuff.
They don't count it. Yeah, they don't count all the internet
and it was
stuff.
just, I got a passion. I was untrained. I had to learn how to do it.
Yeah, everybody had to learn how to do it.
I didn't go to journalism school.
But the thing about it, we ain't journalists.
No.
We ain't journalists at all. So I don't know why. A lot of people think we journalists because we always come up with stuff and they think it's facts and stuff. And we bloggers.
Yeah.
We blog. We see other stuff when we post it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I tell people all the time, hey, bro, I get it wrong, especially when I'm breaking a story in live time.
Yeah, you ain't no journalist.
Like, I'm just telling y'all what I'm hearing.
Yeah, we bloggers.
Yeah, I'm not telling you this is fact. You know, you need to tune to the news channel if you want 100% investigated factual information. Now, once they put it out, I'll report it as fact.
Yeah.
But if I'm just, I get a video, somebody tells me this happened today.
Yeah.
Well, they said this happened today.
Yeah.
I had people all on my dick talking about that that shooting video the other day. I got it wrong. I said it happened today. Everybody did.
Everybody did.
Then find out
even the news people did.
Yeah.
The news people thought it happened today, so they went to the police. The police told them it didn't happen then.
Yep.
So
I said I texted a copy of it to Bo Lucky, the chief of Capitol Police.
Yeah.
I said, hey, I don't know if y'all seen this, but just in case,
Yeah.
And what somebody figured out that the grass was green.
Yeah. Said the trees that had leaves on or something, then and like we in wintertime now, it's naked out there.
Yeah, that was somebody with a better eye. All I'm seeing is a guy hanging out the window with a gun.
That's the only thing you can see.
And
hey.
So we get it wrong, man. But hey, we're getting information out that you do is when it's something like that, make your own decision.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of stuff that should never happen in Jackson. That's what that right there encapsulates exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Why I don't want to be caught outside slipping at a gas station.
Yeah.
And just bullets flying every damn where. What could it have possibly been over?
Mm-hmm.
That's worth that outcome in public.
Yeah, that's a crazy outcome in public. I'm talking about broad daylight, hanging out a cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
And the other car, there was an avalanche at the red light that was hanging out shooting back at them. So they're shooting at each other. Like if you slow it down and really watch it and you can listen, there's two different guns.
Yeah, it's two different guns. You can hear it.
And I got a screenshot of the avalanche that somebody sent me, and the guys hanging at it. Pointing back at them. So they clearly started this nonsense somewhere else. And it ends right there.
Yeah.
Just running through the streets of Jackson chasing each other. Man, it's too stupid to be stupid.
Too stupid, yeah.
You can't rationalize stupidity. Squirrel, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Man, thank you, man. Hey, tune in this week. I got another guest coming in this week, man. He an artist, you know what I'm saying? So y'all tune in this week, man. Appreciate you, Clay.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Sage Jackson, man. Make sure y'all follow Sage Jackson. Hey, he got them shirts, too. He got shirts called Fuck Around and Find Out, man. Hey, they some of the hottest shirts right now in Jackson, man. Hey, y'all make sure y'all go buy his shirts. And one more thing, shout out to our sponsor, Residual Supply. He got our first sponsor of the year, man. He some of the luxury urban clothes. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say he just got clothes. He's so luxury, like leather pants, leather jackets, all type of clothes, man. Make sure y'all tune in. Follow him on Instagram at Residual Supply. And y'all go shop with him. Residual Supply. Yeah, make sure y'all follow him. And, man, he got some nice clothes, man. Cool. So y'all tune in, hats, all that. So make sure y'all tune in.
I like to get dressed up every now and then.
Hey, see that? Make sure y'all shop with him. But we'll see y'all next week, man.